when God started bringing people that have gone through, emotional damage, rape cases, numerous abortions, like a lot of those stories, right? But then when I have encounter with people like that, God has always been the source of inspiration on the right words to tell them, what to share with them, share my experiences, share my personal story, and use the scriptures as a template, to draw strength.
Change is inevitable, but change doesn't have to be the end. It's just a detour. On this podcast, we call Change the Left Turn. On the Left Turn, we speak to global trailblazers who have mastered life's unexpected twist, turning their childhood dreams into remarkable achievements. This season, we're bringing to you even more inspiring stories, valuable insights, and exciting conversation with amazing guests. So stick around to the end because we have something in store for you. Welcome to the Left Turn. I'm excited to have my sister joining me today. She is an inspiring entrepreneur. As a multifaceted professional, she brings expertise in business strategy, real estate, and missionary work. She is the visionary founder of Asset Group and UOB Global. And through her organization, AB Solution Express has empowered countless entrepreneurs to achieve their goals. With over 7 years of expertise, Abigail worked with 8 brands across various industries. She holds multiple certifications and a degree in microbiology from Delta State University. Abigail offers business strategy consultation, real estate expertise, and digital marketing solutions. She's also a philanthropist, leading a faith-based initiative and empowerment program through her NGO, Unity of Beauty. Her achievements have earned her recognition from prestigious organizations including Forbes, LinkedIn, and TIBA. She received multiple awards, including Young Entrepreneur of the Year and Sales Queen. Join me today to welcome my friend. Like I say, she's a very unique person. We actually met on LinkedIn, and she's one of those people that have actually created genuine relationship. Today is actually the first time I'm meeting her in person, but I call her my sister because we have actually built a strong relationship, and she's genuine with all her connection. So join me today to welcome Abigail. So good to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Ajake. I'm really glad to be here.
That's true. How many followers do you have again on LinkedIn?
About 30,000 plus.
30,000 plus. That's amazing. I'm just at 3,000. I think I just did 3,000 a few days ago.
Of course, it's a gradual process, so yes.
I agree. She said that to me a lot. But again, consistency, and I'll allow her to say a lot of things because she's definitely going to be sharing some tips on how to grow on LinkedIn, because she's someone that I really, really do admire. And the reason why I admire her is because she's been able to build, like I said, real connection with her audience. And I believe those 30,000 followers that she has something great to say about her. But we'll dive into the story. We're going to just start straight. So Left On, basically, it's about your childhood dreams. What exactly are you one of those child that wanted to be a doctor? And what influenced that decision? But basically, just tell us about your childhood. How was it for you, basically, as a child?
Okay, that is a very big question because, my childhood was filled with so many experiences, and can tell you that, well, I wouldn't say I was born with a silver spoon.
Okay.
Yes, but at the same time, I'll say my parents were like average income earners.
Okay.
And, my dad is into ministry.
Okay.
So,
a pastor's child.
yes. So,
Okay.
I practically grew up in different states. So, I was born in Jos.
Okay.
From Jos, we went to Benue State.
Interesting.
Yes. From Benue State, we went to Niger State.
That's very
right? From Niger State to Lagos to Oyo, Like it's been, we've been on a tour practically,
Mm.
since I was born. And that really exposed me to different, cultures, different societies. I was able to learn from different people. And I think that also shaped my mindset as a child to be open-minded,
Okay.
to respect people, respect their cultural beliefs, and appreciate the beauty of Africa, as a whole. So yeah, um, I that question, if I wanted to be a doctor, right? Okay, so it's more like almost every child wanted to be a doctor, because for me, I also wanted to be a doctor.
No, but you shouldn't be doctor. You should want to be a missionary or like your father. My dad was in medical, so maybe that's why I wanted to be a doctor.
Influenced your
Yes, but what
decision.
influenced you wanting to be a doctor, knowing that you're from
Yeah.
a missionary home? Like,
Yeah, so I never for once saw myself going into ministry when I was still a child.
okay.
It wasn't even in view. It never for once crossed my mind that I was going to venture into ministry at any point. I felt, my dad was a pastor, does not mean I should become one or I should follow the same route, right? But you know, I just wanted to be a doctor.
Why did you choose being a
And
doctor?
that's because people gave this perception that if you are a doctor, you'll be well respected. Doctors come with this high level of recognition, respect, and all. And then they feel there's this mindset, behind being a doctor. People just feel
Yeah.
doctors are special.
Well, did your parents have any influence to that, or just general perspective?
No. No. My parents had no influence um on this particular decision of mine. I think it was more like a peer pressure thing.
Okay.
Among my friends in school, all of us wanted to become a doctor. So why will I be left out? I also wanted to become a
Yeah.
doctor, And then, as a child, there was one thing though that stood out for me. I have always wanted to own my own estate. Yes, even as a child, I've always told myself I would own my own estate. I would build properties. I would house people. Like, I've always had that at the back of my mind. And I think my parents' line of work also influenced that, because I grew up seeing my parents provide shelter to people. I grew up seeing them being hospitable to people, and that made me reach that conclusion that no, I must also get to that point, or when I grow up, I'd also, be able to own my own estates. I mean, I was seeing the bigger picture of what my parents were doing. Like,
Yeah.
I was seeing myself as someone who would not just bring people into my own home, but also like build houses,
Yeah.
where they can stay and be comfortable. So I have always had that vision to own my own estate, to do something around real estate, even as a child, even when I didn't even know what it was all about. So that was something that I got from my parents, right? So I went to a secondary school that trained us to be more like warriors. I went to Mayflower, Ikene.
Oh,
Yes.
what's that?
Ikene, Ogun State. And Mayflower, then, I don't know about now, but then Mayflower was really strict. It had strict policies, strict standards. In fact, the way we lived our daily routine, we were being drilled, being trained to survive any situation or environment we found ourselves, and we're being trained to study like there's no tomorrow. Like, we are always buried in our books, and then all the while I was in Mayflower, my secondary school, I kept telling myself, if I keep going at this speed with the way Mayflower was also drilling us, like training us, I knew that my doctorate vision
Dream will
was
come
sure.
true.
And that kept me going. And one of those things that, changed everything was when I finished secondary school.
Okay. Were you a science student or
I was
art?
just doctor.
That
Hey, where else will I be?
specifically.
you know. So, but when I finished, secondary school, things took, a different turn, and I couldn't get admission
Mm.
into university, and I was there year one. In fact, before I finished secondary school, while I was still before I got to SS3,
Yeah.
in SS2, there's this
I write
GCE
GC,
exam
yes.
that we can write so that
Sit.
we leave our
I
colleagues and just go. So when they are in SS3,
You're
we tell them,
already
I'm in 100
fair
level,
one.
we start giving them the gist of
Yes.
how university is.
Yes. Yes.
I had pictured everything then, like, okay, I would be in 100 level before my
My
colleagues even
colleagues.
finished secondary school. I went ahead and I told my dad, I'm sitting for GC. My dad was so happy that, this girl, no problem, I'm getting the form for you. We
Oh.
filled, we enrolled. I took GCE, and the results came out, right? But then I was not given that admission. So I had to go back because then I was missing classes a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't leave
because
school.
you felt that.
Yes, I didn't leave school because I was writing the GC exams and I was trying to prepare. So I couldn't really meet up with some of the classes, right, in school. So I was missing classes a lot. So by the time I went back in SS3, I felt so sad because I'd already seen myself in a different environment. I have pictured everything, even before that time. But then I just had to encourage myself that no wahala. After all,
Still
I'm
there.
still there and I'm supposed to be finishing normally. So no problem. So I was in SS3. We finished SS3. We wrote WAEC, NECO. Meanwhile, while we're writing WAEC and NECO, I already told Dad that I wanted to be enrolled in JAM lesson class so that I can start taking lessons and prepare for JAM. Dad was so happy. He enrolled, he bought the JAM form. I started taking the JAM lessons, and it went on and on. And after we wrote JAM, the results came out. I passed very well, but still I was not given admission. That was the second trial. At that point, I felt heartbroken. Some of my colleagues, my mates that we finished SS3 together, got admission. They were now in 100 level. They started sending me invitation. Come for our matriculation.
Oh.
Hey, I was feeling so bad. Like, hi, no problem. But I was happy for them. Like, I was genuinely happy for them because it's a thing of joy when you see. I was this kind of person. I was very quiet. I'm very quiet. I'm not really but then, when I my friends then, we have this belief system, like we all cheer each other up, like we all stand up for each other, like we're always there for each other and we want the best for each other. There was nothing like maybe beefing each other or envy or wanting one person to. Mm-mm. So when they were really inviting me for their matriculation, I was really happy. I was glad, for them, even though I was sad that they are now moving on. That I'm the only one.
Your clique of friends.
My clique of friends left behind. I'm supposed to be with these people, but I did not let that weigh me down. And when they saw me at their matriculation, God, they were so glad. It was like we're all there together. They didn't even make me feel that I wasn't in the university yet. So, and from time to time we keep contacting each other. Don't worry, see, you stay in my room. Oh. Next year when you get your admission, this one will say, no, you are going to be my bunkmate. I was excited, And then the third year came. I took JAM again. I read the exam. I passed. No admission. Wow. You see, after that third year, the third year, my colleagues were already in like 200 level. That was my third trial.
Yeah.
My colleagues were in 200 level. I wasn't in school yet. I've not gotten admission. At that point, I started disconnecting from them one by one because I didn't want to be depressed. I didn't want to be pressured because there's no way they'll keep asking me and following up on me that I won't be thinking about it. And there's no way, they'll keep asking that I don't want to respond. So I was trying to avoid being pressured, by anybody and not to be depressed. So I started withdrawing. And The fourth year came, same. Fifth year came, same.
Ah,
So at the fourth
sorry.
year,
Wow.
which was my fourth trial, right? At that point, it just broke me completely because I should have been graduating, right? And I was seeing my friends' updates. I'm convoking next week.
Wow.
How did we get here? It's broke me. And when my dad, I remember a period when my dad called me, I was like, okay, what do you want to do? What's on your mind? I just told him, well, I don't know. I'm just here. At that time, that period, I had a skill. I had a skill set. I was a stylist.
Oh, nice.
I was very good at it. So all that period, I was already making money for myself, right? So it's not like I just sat down at home. I was making money, in our area then. A lot of people already knew me. They bring their children to our compound. They even take numbers. That's how many
Wow.
they normally come in, like in their numbers. They take numbers. Oh, okay, you are still on this person. Okay, my daughter is number 8 too.
Nice.
So my niece is number 5. Okay, no problem. And after I finish,
Making the
fixing their hair, the parents too will start coming, the aunts, the mothers. Sister Abigail, I'll be number 2 tomorrow morning. I said, no problem, it's fine, and so that kept me busy. It took my mind off
the
what
pressure.
was happening, at least a little. Even though at night I'll go back to God in prayers, crying, God, what happened? How did we get here? This was not the plan. Even if I'm in med school, by now I should be looking at 2 more years to graduate because med school is like
6
7
years, yeah,
years,
7
6,
years
7
with
years,
partnership.
I was like, God, what happened? So, 6th year, I took the exam. All the while I was still taking the exam. I didn't even give up, like, okay, this year, let me just take a break. I was taking the exams back to back. Year 6, I took the exam. At this point, I had already gone around almost all the schools in Nigeria. Oye Ekiti, Ilaro Poly. I've gone to Bells University. I have gone around Lautech.
So
Because
it was
Lautech
the
was
result was okay,
the
like your
results were
results. It
okay,
was
but
just
I
the
wasn't
jam, the
just
cutoff
getting.
mark.
So even if I make jam cutoff mark, because there were some of the jams I took, I made the cutoff mark. But you will hear, okay, for instance, when I applied to Uni Lorraine, I made the cutoff mark very well. But then I heard again that if you're not a Muslim, they can't give you admission. Or you need to know somebody that knows somebody that will put people's name on the list. All those things were influencing the whole process. So it was, and then when I went to Oye Ekiti, the issue then was they said the department I was applying for, that the list is full. That they will have to move us to another department. That is, if there is still, space, like if they still have more, they can still take more students in that department. So at the end of the day, they couldn't take more students in the other department.
Were you trying to settle? Were you going to settle, or you were insisting on being medicine and doing medicine for this few years?
Okay, so at some point, I began to think of other departments too.
Okay.
So what I was doing was I'll put medicine and I'll put complementary courses, yes,
Okay.
so that in case I didn't make it into that department, I would be able to get
the next one.
Another.
Okay.
But it was just the same story. And year 7, my dad told me, anything you want to do at this point, I support you. We have tried. You're not a dull child. If you were a dullard now, I would say okay. But you were not a dull child. I graduated with distinctions. All through my primary school, distinctions. Down to secondary school. So whatever is happening, I don't know. But at this point, if you feel you want to, like, whatever decision you want to make, just let me know. And one thing that helped me was my dad was flexible to an extent with me, because my mom, being a woman in ministry, she had this community of ladies she was mentoring on self-development, self-awareness, godliness, holiness and all of that, So that's community. She made sure that I was always involved. I was always there. Whenever she's going for the meeting, she would carry me along. Oh yeah, let's go. So I was always there, observing what she was doing, seeing what she was doing, and how the ladies she was coaching were getting better, how the quality of their lives improved greatly. And that inspired me. Right. So while she was doing that, I was observing her, I was learning indirectly, under her. And because of that, I began to have this passion to reach out to other ladies too in my peer group. Right. So, year 7 was gradually coming to an end. And I told Dad, I said, okay, I want to take P degree.
Okay.
That was the first time I was hearing about P degree. I was like, I want to take P degree. Let me try. I've never tried that. Let me try it. See how it goes. Maybe it might work out. He said, okay, how long? I said, P degree is 6 months, right? After 6 months, you take
200
the,
levels.
yes, the exams. If you pass, depending on the course, you might get directly into direct entry into 200 level. I said,
Or you
okay.
start
Or
afresh.
100 level, yes. I said, okay, no problem. He said, okay, no problem, rather. He agreed with me. That man, anything academics is always agreeing with me.
Obviously, a daddy's girl.
I don't know. I don't
You
think
said
so.
daddy
I
so
don't think
many
so.
times.
No, but what I mean is, when it comes to academics, like he always agrees with me. He has always been supportive academically a lot of times. Like, so I took the P degree. Then it was Delta State University. I have already gone on a long tour, so, and then parents were in Delta State 7 because, I mentioned earlier, they always transfer them from one state to another, one city, to another. So they were in Delta State this time. And so they made inquiries and discovered that, okay, I could actually do P degree. That got the form for me. So mom and I went to the school, filled the form, did everything, enrolled, and I was accepted into the program, so I started. Now, while I was in P degree, while I was doing the P degree program in Delta States, I started meeting people. I started meeting ladies, even those that were in the P degree program with me, and those that were like in my compound, like my roommates, my compound, my neighbors, right? And during maybe when we have the opportunity to like discuss, or just talk about something or just gist, we start sharing their stories like, this P degree I'm taking, and this is my 2nd year at home. I've been waiting for admission. I'll be like, and I'll be like, I'm just tired. If this P degree does not work out, I'm forgetting everything about school. I'm not interested again. Some say, in fact, if this P degree does not work out, I'm just going to get married. I was like, okay. Then I'll start talking, start sharing my story. What are you saying? 2 years and you want to give up? I said, see, this is my 7th year. Wow. And everybody just goes silent. They'll be like, what kind of drive do you have? What kind of determination is that? You keep going year after year and you're still here. How come? Now I'll be like, sometimes you have to be persistent. And we have to understand that, and there is a great destiny, the devil tries everything to sabotage it. It's up to you to give him room or not, right? God has given us a mandate to, take the lead in certain things, especially when it concerns our destiny. Now, the question is, are we ready to stand up to it? Are we ready to take responsibility? It was my responsibility to be persistent, not God's responsibility. So if I had given up, I can't blame God for it because it was my decision to give up. So I had the choice to either stay persistent or to back down, right? To fight for what I have seen or to just walk away and hand the devil the trophy, right? But I was determined and I told myself, as long as God wants me to be educated, No matter how the devil tries to stop it, I will be educated. I will go to school. And school will pass through me. So that was it for me. And that encounter during my PDG program made me understand what God was doing with my life. He was making a story out of my life to give me hands-on experience to uplift and encourage others. He was preparing me for the ministry ahead without my knowledge. I was complaining, I was crying, I was getting depressed, but he was telling me, hey, I'm giving you capacity. He was building up my capacity, right? And, after that period, I started seeing things clearly. Like, I started seeing things from a better perspective. Like, okay, oh God, so this is what you were doing. Started making me understand that this is what he was doing. Okay. And from that moment, I just knew that year wasn't going to pass me by because the mission has been accomplished. The capacity has been built. I have scaled. I've gone through that process. I just knew. And I kept following God's leading. I was just like, okay, Lord, wherever this is going, I'm all yours. I'm all yours. Remember, I never had ministry in mind.
Yeah.
I never even saw
Medical
myself there.
doctors.
Not even once. And because of the numerous encounters I've had, I didn't even consider medicine. I just went for microbiology. I just picked a science course, that at least, okay, if I could go in through microbiology, I can always take up medical microbiology as a second degree, which is still kind of related, So, JAM came that same year. I wrote it again, even though I was doing PDG. So I just wanted to have options. And lo and behold, when the results came out, I passed the JAM as well. I passed PDG as well. My name came out of the first list on PDG students. JAM, my name also came out on the first list. So this was the school telling me, they are giving you double admission. Pick your course, a course of your choice. And I was like, really? The day I saw that list, I just started crying. Me that has never gotten one. Now that it is time,
Had options.
I'm having options. When I told my dad, that day, I remember my dad was the one that went to the cyber cafe to check the results because I was still having phobia. He went to check the results.
He didn't believe it.
When he came back, he was trying to prank me. So when he came back, because whenever he drives in, I'll stand at the window. I'll be watching his facial expression. If his face is light, there is hope. But if his face is strong, hey, it has happened again. Or maybe the result was not good. I was just coming. And his face was he was not smiling. I was like, my God, what is going on? Did I not pass? Or did I not meet the cutoff mark? Or did they not give me the admission? What is going on? You see, that one of those three. And he came in. He just gave me the envelope without saying anything. He didn't say a word. He just gave me the envelope. And he gave me the envelope.
Find out yourself.
I was looking at his face, so no facial expression. See that man?
Can you find out yourself?
When I opened the envelope, I was like, double admission key. What's going on here? I ran out of my room because when he gave me, I just went into my room and I anything at all.
Let me stay and cry.
I ran out of my room. He was waiting in the passage for me, like outside my room. He was waiting there to see what my reaction was going to be. Like, I ran out. I jumped on his back. Like, I didn't even plan it. If my dad was not strong like Gallant, we would have bet ourselves on the field.
The admission came, you had to do, of course, double admission.
Yeah.
Was it microbiology? It was microbiology eventually. Yeah. So how did your journey to ministry started? And I understand the sleepless nights and how it could be. Again, you said you started making hair.
Yeah.
right? At what point was it just like a coping mechanism for you or stuff? So, and yeah, when you went into school, did you continue in that handwork more like, so it was like a thing you were doing
Yeah.
by the side to keep you busy?
Yeah.
So just walk us through the journey eventually. What happened after you got the admission into school?
Yeah.
What happened were you still doing your handwork? Stuff, just give us that story.
Yeah, thank you for that question. Yeah, so when I got into school, eventually, I did not stop my hairdressing, skill. I kept, practicing. And those that were in my level, like 100 level, my colleagues, they knew I was a hairstylist. So they would always come to my hostel and make their hair, you know. So, but then I was more focused on the bigger picture because as
Didn't
much
that
as,
distract you?
oh, no, because I mean, you don't have to go to lectures every day. We don't have lectures every day. So only days when I had lectures, of course, I go for my lectures. And when I'm not having a class, and I'm well rested, can always schedule my friends, especially on weekends, to come around and I'll make their hair. So I was able to,
Time
create a
management.
balance. Yes. Um, and that went on for a while. In school, I also got to really understand the extent, of to which God wanted to like walk through my life. The ministry, the big picture, I got to see it, right? And I just really just released myself to him because without that, I wouldn't have been able to navigate.
7 years.
Yes. And gradually, God started bringing people that had similar challenges that I've gone through and overcome, started bringing such people my way. And I will share my story, share my experiences, and they get inspired and see the bigger picture and start finding hope. And they draw strength from my story. And
Yes.
from there, I connect it to the word of God and we pray together, and that will become another journey for us. And I started meeting more of those people. In fact, there was a time when God started bringing people that have gone through, emotional damage, rape cases, numerous abortions, like a lot of those stories, right? But then when I have encounter with people like that, God has always been the source of inspiration on the right words to tell them, what to share with them, share my experiences, share my personal story, and use the scriptures as a template, to draw strength. And before you know it, we go from just, two friends discussing into a counseling session, and they just want me to like stick around to keep following up. And that was how ministry started. Because before we know it, yes, before I knew it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people. And I was like, God, what is going on? And God started leading me. Okay, this is what you should do. Create a platform on which this ministry will thrive. Right. And that was how Unity of Beauties came into play. And that is why it is Unity of Beauties, because we are mostly ladies. And after we have our discussions, our one-on-one discussion, I'll add them to the platform.
Okay. So Unity of Beauty started in school.
Yes.
So after school, microbiology, graduate microbiologist,
Yes.
and you continued with Unity of Beauties, obviously,
Yes.
still here.
Yes.
Okay. So what happens after studying microbiology? Did you eventually? So what happens at that point? Did you transition into ministry or microbiology?
Okay. So I mean, my academics was a journey on its own, but it wasn't affecting my ministry, my calling.
Yes.
So I had the academic journey, and of course my calling. So they are two different journeys, right, that can actually coexist. Right. One does not have to step down for the other.
I see.
Of course, I don't have to become an uneducated pastor. So yes. But then I was able to all my ministerial activities then, like I mentioned, were directed and orchestrated by the Holy Spirit. And he led me in a way that, wasn't affecting my academic performance or anything, right? And most of our programs, I wasn't even really having programs as such, but most of our programs that we were having once in a while were mostly like outreaches, then maybe prayer programs that we hold in the evenings or at night when everybody is practically free, So that was it. And counseling sessions, I mean, those can actually come up, anytime when I'm free and I have, time to like speak to people or, have a session with people. So nothing was affecting, they were not affecting each other at all. And we went from like 7, I think I started with 7 founding members then in school. And then after school, God gave me even the bigger picture. And we went from physical platform and transition online. We became a digital or a digitalized ministerial platform. And we grew. We grew from 7 to over 1,000.
Amazing.
And it's been from one, level of glory to another. Because from that platform since March 2016 up until now, that platform has birthed women and men of God, not just women now.
Oh, nice.
It has birthed graduates, people that have found themselves, people that have been in a dark place before, that the devil has concluded on their matter, and they've come out of it. They are now preachers. They are now, representing Christ on big stages as well. It has bettered a lot of, amazing, journeys beyond what I can even comprehend and imagine. And it's sometimes I just sit down and ask myself that, okay, what if I did not yield,
what will happen to those
calling?
lives?
What about all of those destinies, all these destinies now, these testimonies? What would have happened? I have worked with people that, encountered people that have gone through bad situations. When I say bad, I mean so bad. Raped by the uncle at 5, then raped again by the brothers at 10, raped until they were like 20-something, to the point that they accepted that as a normal thing, as what defines them. Like, I have worked with people like that, to a point that they just felt they can never be good enough. There's really nothing special about them. The devil has sold the wrong identity to them, and God has taken us through a journey that brought them out of that dark place into becoming light to their own generation. Successful entrepreneurs. So sometimes I sit down and I ask myself, like, what if I did not, yield? What would have happened? So yes, I graduated seamlessly. Went through school, no issues, no failed course once, one subject, none. Went through it, came out second class upper, should have been a first class, but one of my lecturers was saying, she's a demigod. Nobody passes her course, but I still passed. But she didn't give me what I deserved, because it's like her way. But then it's fine. But I thank God I graduated very well. And when I graduated, this was where the twists came, the business strategies twist. Transitioning from microbiology to business strategy didn't just happen.
Did you work at any point in time?
Yes, of course. So when I graduated, the goal was to work with a lab, in a laboratory, because that's our line of work. Research, work in the lab.
So just to clarify, UAB is Unity of Beauties.
Yes.
And you said you started when you were in school.
Yeah.
You started like ministerial work started when you were just about 7 of them on the platform.
Yes.
And it grew to about 1,000 from 2026, 2006, right? 16,
Yes.
and now it grew over 1,000 naira.
Yeah.
Please share with us, how can people actually benefit? Because I've heard a lot of touching stories, and
Yeah.
way down, I'm asking myself, how do you feel hearing those kind of stories, a platform
Yeah.
where people are really vulnerable
Yeah.
to you? Like you said, you were prepared for this. So two things. So how will people be able to get in contact with
UOB.
UAB,
Yeah.
Unity of Beauties group?
Yes.
And how do you actually help people? Is it a safe space? Because again, most people that are going through this
Yeah.
are kind of scared of this. But I see you've talked about a growth
Yeah.
and consistency. So what are the few things you do to help people in those states out to find themselves?
Okay.
Just give us a brief
Okay.
information on that,
Yeah.
and how can people participate?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that question. Yes, so UOB, which is also Unity of Beauties Global, and the global comes from, the perspective of, we've gone beyond Nigeria.
Okay, it's not just
We
it's
have
not just a
members.
Nigerian platform.
No, it's not just a Nigerian platform. We have members in the UK, from Canada, Europe. So we are like a big body of Christ.
Amazing.
So and it's interdenominational. It doesn't matter your church or the ministry you are joining us from. The bottom line is we can all come together as one people, share our stories, learn more about, who Christ wants us to be, and empower each other.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the focus. And that has always been the goal, and the template on which we operate. So yes, we have different platforms. We are on different platforms. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
But then our WhatsApp group is like a close community where you can actually have that one-on-one contact. So people join in from our WhatsApp platform.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can join in from our WhatsApp platform, be a part of what we do. So on that WhatsApp platform, we have weekly programs, and this is how we're able to reach out to people through our weekly programs. And each of those programs are designed to address different issues.
Okay.
From personal development issues to low self-esteem, depression issues, to skill empowerment, to even mentorship topics like, let's say, money talks, career, topics, marriage or relationship related topics, So yes, each of those programs are designed, to cover different aspects of life, including spirituality. So that is how we've been able to constantly reach out to people, empower people, encourage people. And during these sessions, we normally have, a time where people people can share, people who want to share can talk about it.
Okay.
Share their stories.
Okay.
So we have a program we call Celebrity of the Week. We hold that every Tuesday. Now, what we do in that program is we bring members of the platform as celebrities, and the goal is to have them share their stories, the good times, the bad times, the rough journey, everything, and what they've gone through and where they are right now.
Okay.
So in the process of sharing that story, other people begin to resonate. People that are going through the same thing begin to resonate, draw strength from that person's story, find the will to keep going, And most times, of course, for people that are not at that point where they're ready to be vulnerable, reach out personally to me.
Okay.
And we go on one-on-one sessions, just like I was doing it in school from the onset. And then we talk about it.
Okay.
And we keep, encouraging them until they get to that point where they've grown, that point of maturity, where that situation is no longer defining them, but they can stand up to
and
it.
Be a celebrity of the
and
week as
become
well.
a celebrity of the week.
Amazing.
So there are so many programs like that. Spirituality, we have Bible studies. prayer sessions. And the Bible study session is to help us delve deep into the Word of God as a community to understand what it's saying and how to apply it to our daily lives. And from there on, we pray together. People with personal prayer requests, send them in. We pray, intercede for each other. So it's just like a community, of people drawing strength from each other,
Amazing.
encouraging each other, and leveraging the Word of God. To grow. So yes, that has been the journey for me.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah. So
there's a
that's
WhatsApp
Unity of
group.
Beauty. Yes.
WhatsApp group,
Yes.
and you share the link. We'll probably just put it
Absolutely
and stuff, so you can
Absolutely.
you put the link and the
Sure.
comment section so people can get to join.
No problem.
And then his group, asset group,
Yeah.
right? So asset group is that, again, were you still consistent in biology? You stopped at a particular time and concentrated. Well, I think like I said, I met you on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right? Why did you choose LinkedIn? And just tell us how, because you have a lot of followers and you grow like weekly. I see some cohort things. You've done some sales stuff. So tell us a bit about that aside your calling, your career.
Okay. Thank you for that question. So microbiology was it was something I did for just a period of time, and that was during school. After school, I wanted to further in that, like get a lab to work with, practice and all, but that was not forthcoming because I don't really think it's a celebrated course in Nigeria. It wasn't. Till now it is not. The only places where you have microbiology is being celebrated is outside. So for now, we don't have much of those facilities around. And I wasn't ready to like keep waiting for a microbiological lab or a science lab and just waiting endlessly. I needed to put my resources. I needed to maximize my time, right? So don't forget that I mentioned from my childhood, real estate has always been a thing. So what I did was, when I finished school, after my during my NYC, I started joining community platforms around my um PPA then, where I was lodging. They gave us a corpus lodge. So they had a CDA group that I was joining. I was just around doing what I could do. Then the ministry was in full operation as well.
Yeah.
So we were having outreaches to secondary schools. I think then we covered about 40 schools in Lagos State. Excuse me. So in the midst of, outreaches, sensitization, some, top individuals started noticing us, started inviting me, to different platforms, seminars, conferences. And while all of that was going on, while I was doing that during my NYC, before I finished my NYC, I met a CEO that gave me my first job. And he did not give me my job based on my certificates. He gave me my job based on my soft skill and capacity. Because when he encountered me in one of the seminars where I went to speak, representing the UOB, and he asked questions about what we've been doing, how long, and all of that. And I gave him the process, our growth process, and all. And he was like, "You have people's management skill. You have communication skill. You have leadership skill. I need you in my management team." And that was it.
Oh, nice.
That was how I got my first job as an operations manager with an automobile tech company. Right. So as I finished
That was
NYC,
the end of microbiology.
So I wouldn't say that's the end because I still really...
That was a pause.
That was a pause, yes. Because I still really want to explore that, maybe in another way. Maybe not by working in a lab or something.
Got it.
My goal is to set up a lab of my own, and run it as a microbiological laboratory where people can come, run different tests and all of that. So it's still me exploring my course, but from the business angle because now I'm
Got
a
it.
business strateg.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, I started that job as an operations manager. Started managing people real time, in the professional space. And I started building my brand on LinkedIn. So, um,
Tell us the LinkedIn story. Why choose LinkedIn?
first of all, I was introduced to LinkedIn
Okay.
during my NYC. We went for a seminar like that, a particular seminar sometime. And, some professionals came to give us lectures and all, and then they introduced LinkedIn, to us. And that was how I created a profile, even though I didn't know how to navigate. But then I created a profile and I started growing my brand there. I started showing up there. And one thing about LinkedIn is you have to be able to define your brand message. What do you want to be known for? Who are the people your message is meant to serve? That is why your target audience.
Yeah.
Then how do you or how will you get to them or get across to them? You have to answer all these questions if you want to build any successful brand on LinkedIn. So the moment I was able to provide answers to these questions, it helped me to start building my brand intentionally on LinkedIn. So I started by showing up as a realtor, of course, because I was very cautious of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be. Even though I was an operations manager, I was not losing focus of who I wanted to be. So I started building as a realtor, and a lot of people started resonating with my brand. Within the first year I was building, it was more like a building process for me because I didn't even get one client on the platform. But
The first year.
Yes, but people were trying to get to know me, like me, before they can trust me. Because the kind of money that moves in real estate is not small money. So before anybody can commit, even if it's 1 million to you, they must have trusted you to an extent, right? So, and while I was building, I was also learning. I was learning on my skill. I was learning on my passion. I was learning on, the industry. Like I was giving myself to learning big time, learning everything about real estate, learning what I needed to know, how I should navigate, the necessary terminologies, the steps, documentation, all of those things. I was just gathering knowledge, right? And before my second year on LinkedIn elapsed, I got my first client. And he bought a property, a landed property. I still remember when I reached out to him for the first time. I sent him a message and he was like, Abigail, you don't need to introduce yourself to me. I've been following you for 1 year now. Wow. I have seen what you're doing. I know you. So just tell me, are there properties I can key into? That was it. And I sent him, said, okay, no problem. Where should I pay into? And that was like very smooth and easy.
So you reached out
I reached out to him.
and then
and that was it. So sometimes the fear of the unknown is what cripples us. We are not sure. We keep limiting ourselves, doubting ourselves. Will it work out? What if they reject? What if he shuns me? What if he smells me? Just that. Never can tell. And that was it. The fact that I just took that step regardless. Even though I wasn't pitching, I reached out to him just casually. Hi, sir. How are you doing? Hope you've been fine. Thank you for your support on my brand. And he responded, I've been good. How are you? Fine. And then I was like, okay, are you currently open to new opportunities, new investment opportunities? Right? I'm a realtor. I don't know if you're open to this conversation. And that was a responding and told me, I've been following you. I know you. So he has probably been waiting for that little push from my end, and that was the beginning of one of many, that I eventually closed and still closing on the platform. Earlier this year, I remembered a lady reached out to me on her own. I was like, I know you're into real estate. Please, I want to get this particular property, this is kind of property I want, this location, this. When can I come for an inspection? Or do you have anyone? So you have to have your brand message clearly defined.
Okay.
Because that will help you to communicate to your target audience and also understand how to communicate your brand message to them. And the business strategy aspect of my business started, about 2 years after I've built my brand
On
around real
LinkedIn.
estate.
Were there times where you were really frustrated about posting, or was it not just working for you?
Frustrated about posting?
Yes, like LinkedIn, or while you're building your brand. Were there times that, again, you did it for 1 year?
Yeah.
What was those times, and what was the problem? What you think you were doing wrong that didn't work?
Yeah, so first, I must say this. Building your brand on any platform is a lot of work. It requires patience, consistency, and determination. Because you cannot just come on a platform and just blow, or just start making it, or just start getting results. You have to be willing to go through the process. So I already had that mindset. Even though there were times when I was like almost on the edge, like, what's going on? I think the first 6 months, I was like, not even one client. But then I understood the place of persistency. Like, I just have to be persistent. Let me just stay there and keep doing it. If other people can get results, I will also get results. And at that time, we didn't have so many realtors online at all. It was we're really scanty, especially on LinkedIn. So it was an added advantage for me, right? And because I was able to position early, it really helped me, and 2 years into it, I started getting results, massive results. And that was when, 2 years, I started getting massive results. After that first sale, after the first year, I started getting results. And then I told myself, okay, it's time to start helping other business owners and entrepreneurs and realtors like myself.
Amazing.
People that want to build, but maybe they don't know how, or people that are unsure or struggling with their building process. And that was how the business strategy started. So I started offering business strategy as a service 2 years after I have built my brand on LinkedIn. So that is why ASE has two arms. We have the real estate consultancy and the business strategy as a service.
Okay, so ASE has two arms.
Yes.
Business strategy, just helping businesses on strategies to build your business, irrespective of the sector.
Irrespective of the sector.
And the other one is the real estate consulting. Amazing. Something very interesting. So Abigail actually met her husband on LinkedIn. There was no way I was going to miss that, right? I think, we had you slide into your DM and stuff. So people that used to think that LinkedIn is a professional stuff, it happens. And then I have a real life situation, right? So please, do you want to share a bit about that journey?
Wow. Okay.
I think I was following some of your posts and both people are collaborating on something. And then the next thing is like, like my husband.
Okay, so that story is actually very okay. So the thing is, we never even started out as friends on LinkedIn. We didn't even know each other at all. I was just doing my thing, building my brand. He was building his brand too. He's a brand builder as well, and think so there's something I do on LinkedIn, and which every creative also do, especially if you want to really build a community of supportive people. You have to know how to interact, communicate with your community, especially those that have been supporting your growth, liking your post, commenting on your post. Once in a while, you reach out to them to appreciate them for their support, so that they can keep supporting you, so they'll feel seen, So I do that, often. So that was it. I just sent that message across all my, people in my network, my connection, those that have been supporting me, both male and female. I just sent it. So I sent to him as well. It was as if he was waiting for that message. When he, when he saw the message, he was like, "Oh, hi, Abigail. Yeah, sure. I'm happy to always support. Thank you too for always supporting me." And then I think the week after, he was not like, oh, that he's been working on a project. He wanted to do like an event series, and he would love us to collaborate on that. So we called it brand efficacy series, because he was fully into brand strategy then.
Yeah.
So and since I was a business strategist, it's a brand strategist, so we felt, okay, no problem, fine, we can always, of course, collaborate because we share similar ideas.
Yeah.
We can help more people, and we started that series. We started bringing different speakers. We did that. I think the first event we did flopped because there was a network meltdown from his end, and he was the host. But the second, we now had to re-strategize and plan. So the second one was a huge success. We did very well, and the event was really, really impactful. But then after that second event, that was how
The
he said,
ministry
okay.
started.
Yeah. He said, okay, we needed to meet, and then at least plan strategically, so that if you are going to be doing more of these events, it should be better. Like, you should keep getting better. I said, okay, no problem, let us meet now, no wahala. And we planned that meeting. We met, and then we discussed, we strategized, we prayed, and that was it. That was it. After that period, he became a friend. That was when he became an actual friend. He became a friend. He would check up, reach out to me, and I still remember that time. Now, whenever he calls, I used to miss his call very well. I'll tell him, I was busy. If you want to come, just let me know when you want to call me, so that I will make myself available. And he said, okay, no problem. I'll let you know.
That's
To him,
patience.
he felt that I was like, snubbing him, but that wasn't it, because then I had, a lot of demand on me,
Projects you're working on.
so much, coupled with ministry. So after work,
You had to do those.
ministry still there.
Yeah.
So I even hardly had time.
So in real life, you're not really forming.
No.
So when did you click eventually? When from
Yeah.
there you got married? Like,
Okay, so he now told me that he wanted to have a call with me. I said, that there's something important, something important. What's important? I said, okay, no problem. I said, is this something we can chat about? Because sometimes his chat might be there 2-3 days. I've not opened, and it's not just his chat. It's just the nature of what I was doing then. So I now said, okay, let's have this call on a Sunday afternoon. I remember very well. It was on a Sunday afternoon. I said Sundays are always free for me, like, because after church
take
I
a bit of
don't.
break.
Yes, I take a break. I don't indulge in any professional work because of my mental health. So I need to rest.
Yeah.
So let's leave it as Sunday, and that was it. So that Sunday afternoon he called. When he called me, I just noticed that this was not the usual way he used to sound, because
The
it's
official way. English that I
you
change it.
get. I was like, what's going on? And it was like, the thing is, he's been having something on his mind. He's been praying about this. He doesn't really know the best way to put it. I said, okay, what is it? And he just got the call.
He couldn't say it.
He got the call.
But that liver drop.
Oh, I was like, what's going on here? And at some point I was like, was it the network, or did he just call the call? What's going on here? And then he called me back. He was like, sorry. Actually what he wanted to say was he's interested in me, and he wanted us to like have a relationship, but of course he knows I would love to pray about it, that whatever my response is, that is fine with it, but this were his intentions, and he just needed to let me know. I was like, okay, no problem. Thank you. I'll pray about it and I'll let you know. And that was it. He was like, when? I said, I can't tell, but I will let you know.
Let the Holy
But
Spirit lead.
yes, I'll let you know. And that was it, I think after like 2 months, I reached out to him. We met.
So it took 2 months for you to answer. I think you have a YouTube channel where there was a
Shared the
story on the
story.
meetup and everything. I
Yes.
think I watched it. It
How
was
we met.
so interesting. I think you should check. What's your? Okay, I think at the end of the show,
Yeah.
we're going to put the YouTube channel just so
Sure.
people could hear your story
Yeah.
on how you
we
met and
Yeah.
stuff.
We
But
did
yes,
an
there
episode
is
on
a
that.
real life story
Yeah.
of you meeting your Mr. Right on LinkedIn as well. So it's not just on Instagram, not just on this
Absolutely.
thing. Abigail is, yes, amazing. She's doing very well. She's amazing. They are both doing very well. They're both doing amazing work on LinkedIn. I follow the both of them and they have been sharing a lot. I think you should follow them as well. So on the description channel, I'm going to drop her link for how to join the community. There's Unity of Beauty.
Yeah.
And also if you want to build strategy in your business or you want realtor or a real estate consultation and you want to buy properties and go through the process, right? You can also get that. You can join or rather you can actually contact them on Ace group.
Yes.
I'll share that as well.
Yeah.
I'll share a LinkedIn handle so my viewers can as well participate. It's been really, really amazing having you on the call. Amazing,
you so
right? But before you go, I want to ask, what is that one thing you tell your 18-year self, right? Is there one thing you regret or one thing rather you would like to change if you were 18?
So that's a really big question.
Aside waiting for 7 years to get into school.
Right. That's a big question. If I were to, speak to my 18-year-old self right now, I'll tell myself to never be intimidated and to never allow people's opinion define me. It was one of those things that almost crushed my self-esteem when I was younger. And thank God, though, that I was able to snap out of it quickly before it took over me. Right. So I'll tell my younger self to never be intimidated by other people and do not, for any reason, allow people's opinion of you define you. Always have this at the back of your mind. You are fearfully and wonderfully made, and there is more about you. God has a unique plan and agenda ahead of you, irrespective of what the current situation might be. There is a bigger picture. So stay focused, stay rooted in God, and keep believing in your vision. It will definitely come to pass.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. All right, it's been an interesting conversation with you, but there's still one aspect for my viewers, right?
Okay.
So there's a tweak to it. This season, we decided that just like you want to also empower users and our viewers rather, and so we make sure that we had a list of SMEs. Because I'm always passionate about helping businesses grow as well. We have a list of SMEs that have shown interest to be mentored by our speakers. Some of them have also selected the speakers or guests they would like to be hosted here. So we have a list. We so there's a raffle, more like a raffle draw. You pick one lucky winner that you're going to be mentoring. I'm glad to hear that you do business strategy. So that person can have the opportunity to just maybe put them in a space where they can be profitable. Yeah. So so you're just going to pick a list, pick from them. Okay, so you have to pick one lucky winner that is going to be mentored by you for, depending on your bandwidth. We know you're very busy, but just help us to put the person through on things you have to do. Could be no timeline, but you can give a timeline for yourself. So pick one lucky winner. Drum roll for the lucky winner.
This is Vera Adeshegun of Oremi Crafts.
Oh, nice. Vera. What's the name again? Can I see? All right. That's Vera Adeshegun of Oremi Crafts. Congratulations, you are the lucky winner to be mentored on business strategy by our amazing guest, Abigail. Congratulations. It's been an amazing, amazing time. Thank you so much, Abigail, for being on the show today. We appreciate you. Thank you, my amazing viewers, for sticking around till the end. And congratulations to our SME who just won today a mentorship session from our amazing guest today. So I'm going to say that for you as an SME people or SME business looking to be mentored by any of my guests, there's a link on the description where you could fill the form to be mentored. And you can also suggest, there's also a list for you to suggest guests you'd like to see on the show as well. I'll also be sharing Abigail's link to her Instagram, her LinkedIn, and how you can be part of her community or get strategy mentorship from her business. You should follow her on LinkedIn. There's a lot of content she gives. She also gives strategies on how to grow your brand on LinkedIn, brand awareness. It's you don't want to miss it. So thank you so much for sticking around, and see you next time on The Left Turn.